Hey guys, it's Ravenhawk6910 reporting once again. In this video, we're going to do an overview of the new MTH Railking scale Santa Fe Warbonnet FP45. Now, I'm calling this an overview because I'm not going to go into full details on this model, as I already reviewed another FP45 from this same run earlier this year, that being the Maersk Sealand FP45. So if you want to get more details about the FP45, I highly suggest that you check out that video first, and then come back to this video. But this video is going to focus on one thing primarily. As you may recall, if you saw the first FP45 review I did, the Maersk engine's grills on the exhaust stack were so close together that you really couldn't get any form of a smoke fluid pipette down in there to fill the smoke unit easily. So what I've decided to do is do this video to show you how to modify your exhaust stack on your FP45, and by the way, this will qualify for any of them. You know, they're all basically the same. They have the exact same mold. So any MTH FP45 you get is going to have this problem. So this just makes things very easy to fix yourself. That way you don't have to worry about sending it off somewhere. And really, it's not a problem with the smoke unit itself. It's a problem with the mold on the body of the engine. So get it out of your head that the smoke unit is the issue here. It's not. Once we modify the grill, this thing will be functioning perfectly, but we've got to be able to get the smoke fluid into the smokestack first. So with that being said, let's head on over to my desk, and I'm going to show you how to modify the grill on the FP45's exhaust stack. Alright, so we've moved down here to my desk here, and really the main thing you're going to need for this is just an X-Acto knife with a brand new blade, and I emphasize brand new blade because you want the sharpest you can possibly get to get an accurate cut. Now, the exhaust stack is right here, and I'm going to move in closer so that way you can see, but there are grills right here, and it's because of these grills being so close together that's not allowing the smoke fluid to get down into the smoke unit and in turn give you good smoke output. So we're going to change that by cutting some of these off with the knife. So let me go ahead and move in here and I'll show you what we're going to do. However, let me emphasize, if you do this, this is your choice. If you do this, you run the risk of damaging your model. Even me showing you how to do this today, I'm running the risk of damaging this thing. So, once you do this, this is your problem. I'm not going to be held responsible if you break your model, and once you do this, you cannot go back. So, this is a one-way conversion. So, here we go. Let's move in on the smokestack, and I'll show you how to modify this thing. Alright, so here's the exhaust stack, and there are 7 individual grills on the exhaust stack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What we want to do is remove the middle grill first. So count back 1, 2, 3 on one side, 1, 2, 3 on the other. We need to take out this center grill right here. And we're not going to worry about damaging these outer 2 right here because we're going to have to work around them. However, that's okay, because in the end, we're probably just going to leave the outer 2 pieces of grill anyways. So, there'll be 7 here now, but there will be 4 once we're finished. So, let's go ahead and start on the middle grill right here. I'm going to take my knife and ever so gently start sawing on the end of this grill. This is why I say you need to have a knife with a brand new blade, so that way you can cut along this fairly easily. And don't be afraid to stop and check every so often while you're doing this as well. It's always better to do too little than too much. And I'm just going to keep pressure on the blade and gently rock back and forth until I'm through to the other side. And one thing you could do, and this is actually what I did with the Maersk engine, is just stick the blade down and give it a twist. However, I don't want to risk damaging this thing any more than I need to, so I'm not going to do that this time. I didn't damage the Maersk engine doing that, however, I don't want to try with the Santa Fe one. So And if you find yourself having problems, don't be afraid to start from this angle as well, but be very careful and don't let the blade slip, because you don't want to accidentally cut or stab yourself with this. So, okay, it's through. And what I'm going to do now is just take the blade and point the grill up, so that way I can remove it easily. You may need a pair of tweezers for this. In fact, I'll probably have to get some before it's all said and done here, because we really don't want this to fall down into the exhaust stack. Just very gently work it. Don't go any harder than you need to. Take your time and you'll be okay. Okay, it's out. Now I can just pull it, and it comes right out. And now we've got that little hole there. I'm going to just take a knife and just take a little bit off. Give me a nice flush edge. And there we go. We got the first grill out. And we're going to repeat this for these next two right here. So just start here and just work inwards. And if you want to, you can turn the locomotive around however you need to make it a little more easier for you to grab it. And because this is relatively thin plastic, this process should go fairly quickly, but again, don't rush it any more than you need to. Okay. And again, use the knife as more or less a lever. Oop, and there it goes flying off, but that's good. It flew off of the locomotive, actually landed on my pants down there, but I don't know how well you can see it, but there's the piece of grill that we just took off. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before and remove this little bit of flashing right here. And there we go, that's off. And now, do this exact same thing for the third and final grill. We only want as big enough of a hole to fit a smoke fluid pipette down in here. So we don't need to take off all of the grills. So I'm just going to work the knife. There we go. Lever it up. And then I'm just going to grab it with my finger right here. And there it goes. Comes right out. And now, we've got a perfectly good hole that we can easily fit a smoke unit pipette down into. Smoke fluid pipette, rather. So let me grab some here. And voila. It's a perfect fit. So now, let's take the FP45 up to the layout and see how the smoke unit output is now. Alright, I've got the 103 on the tracks, and I've got the 6976, which is my other FP45 that I previously modified, coupled up behind it here. So I'm going to show you what should happen is we should get a good solid plume of smoke, just like any other typical MTH engine would after we modified that grill. So I've got track power applied, so let's go ahead and start it up. Sure enough, not sure how well you can see it on the video, but the smoke is coming out very well right now. There we go. Here's a slightly different camera angle, and you can clearly see the smoke coming out very well now on the 103. If I had left it as it was, there would be very little smoke coming out, and we would have ran the risk of burning out the smoke unit. So this modification is probably a must for the FP45, but there you go. The smoke unit's working just fine now. Not that there really was a problem to begin with. It body problem than anything else. So that's really about it, guys. If you want to see a full review of the FP45, I highly recommend you check out my video of the Maersk FP45, which is behind this engine now, as they're from the same run and they're basically the same on the inside. They've got the same sounds and everything else. Really, the only difference between these two engines is obviously the paint scheme, and the 103 has passenger freight announcements for the Super Chief, whereas the 6976 has passenger freight announcements for freight service. So even though this version of the Warbonnet paint scheme on the 103 is the Super Fleet Warbonnet and not the passenger Warbonnet, they've still got the passenger freight announcements in there for passenger service anyways if you wanted to. But you know, it is what it is. This is still a gorgeous locomotive, and yeah, these engines are really cool. Two of my favorite engines of all time. And yeah, there's not really much left to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Ravenhawk 6910, signing off.